Good afternoon, Manchester, and welcome to the May 18th edition of The Pulse. I'm Anthony Cavallo.
And I'm Raniel Fuentes. The school year is coming to a close, and by the time this Pulse airs, I'll be at High Meadows enjoying the start to my senior weekend.
Well, seniors almost be done with school, but I still got a lot left before the year ends.
Sorry to hear that, dude, but there could actually be a few changes at MHS for you guys next year.
Coming up, we'll sit down with our new official principal, Miss Miner, and learn about her journey from a student athlete to administrator.
And later, we'll take a closer look at the MHS dress code and the changes some students are asking for.
But first, Andrew Shea explains why the biggest baseball game of the year has an impact far beyond the diamond.
All of this and more coming up on
The Pulse. Of everything that happens here at MHS, none of it would be possible without the hard work and dedication of our teachers. Dalton Heiler introduces us to one very special teacher who was recently recognized for her contributions to the school.
This past week was Teacher Appreciation Week, and MHS is celebrating one very special teacher. English teacher, Miss Shea, was selected earlier this month as Manchester High School's 2018-2019 Teacher of the Year. Students and teachers alike agree that she is an incredibly deserving recipient of this honor.
Miss Shea's really outgoing.
She's just an outstanding individual. You see how she cares deeply about the students. She's committed to instruction, to the kids outside of the classroom, the development as people, not just academics, the whole person.
Miss Shea takes a hands-on approach to teaching.
In the past, I've been known to jump into trash cans to teach students prepositions. Miss Shea is in the trash can.
And loves helping her students every day.
As a teacher, I feel like it's the children that inspire me, my students. To see them kind of learn to love something that maybe they didn't before, whether it's writing an essay or talking about ideas or reading a book, that inspires me and that keeps me going.
One thing is for sure, students and staff are lucky to have Miss Shea's enthusiasm and compassion as a part of the MHS community. From Manchester, this has been Dalton Heiler reporting.
On behalf of the entire Pulse crew, we'd like to congratulate Miss Shea for receiving the honors of the 2018-2019 Teacher of the Year.
In honor of Teacher Appreciation Week, we want to thank all those amazing teachers and staff at MHS for all that they do for us.
In addition to teaching language arts, Ms. Shea is also heavily involved with the music department at our school.
One of the most notable groups in the music wing are the Roundtable Singers, and this amazing group of musicians got together last weekend to honor the graduating seniors and celebrate the group's success. Jake Berube has more on this long-standing tradition.
May the road
The MHS Roundtable is a group of MHS students that get together after school on Tuesdays and Thursdays to sing together and help each other.
It's really powerful, plus it always helps you find your own voice in between, and so you can help make your own sound by also helping other people find their own.
The group even gets to go on trips at times. Let's hear about one of those trips from senior member Drew Higgins.
My favorite memory from Roundtable is when we got to go on our trip my sophomore year to Virginia Beach, and on the boat, Mr. Tyler taught us how to do the twist, and I thought it was really funny.
Can you demonstrate for us?
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah, we still have the video. He went like, a little bit like this.
During some of these meetings, the senior members of the group get together to practice singing the senior song, the Irish Blessing. On May 11th after school, they all got together to create signs with a quote from the song on it.
It's a quote from the graduation song, which is the Irish Blessing, and it's "May the wind always be at your back, and may the sun shine warm upon your face."
The Roundtable has been around for 80 years, and the members are working very hard to continue to keep their musical traditions alive. From The Pulse, this has been Jake Berube reporting.
What an amazing tradition. I think that just shows how much of an impact MHS has on its students.
Yeah, it kind of makes me a little emotional since the year is coming to an end, but I have to say I'm excited to hear them one last time at graduation.
One other great tradition our school has is the annual Manchester East Catholic baseball game.
The game was last Monday, but will continue to have a lasting impact far after the final out. Andrew Sui was there to show us why this year's Pink Out game is so important.
The Tribe versus the Nest. Manchester and East Catholic's long-running rivalry was on full display when the annual Pink Out baseball game was held at Jim Pender's Field on May 18th. With both teams battling to improve their seeding heading into the state tournament, this year's game had much higher stakes than normal.
Going to the Pink Out game, we wanted to win because it was a pretty big rivalry, and win would have helped us with seeding for states, and it's always good to beat East Catholic.
With a final score of 6-5, the game certainly lived up to the hype, but Manchester was unable to come away with the victory despite a thrilling 3-run home run by senior Ryan Stewart.
So hitting the home run was probably the most special moment I've had playing baseball at any level. And although we lost, the game still really meant a lot to everybody because it brought a lot of people out for a great cause.
Much more than just a hard-fought victory was on the players' minds, though, as the purpose behind the Pink Out game is much bigger than baseball. Every year, bitter rivals, MHS and East Catholic, come together in this annual tradition in order to raise money in support for cancer.
The game was important for raising awareness for cancer because it's a pretty big problem. A lot of people showed up and made donations. Our assistant coach told us that his dad was diagnosed with prostate cancer, so the game had a little bit more of an effect on him and us.
Although Manchester was unable to come out with the win tonight, this year's Pink Out game was a true success as both teams came together as one to raise money for a great cause. From the Pulse, this has been Andrew Sui reporting.
Even though we may have lost 6-5, fighting breast cancer is way more important than anything.
Yeah, both teams played their hearts out. I'm glad I was there to watch my boy Ryan Stewart rip a home run.
I wish I was there. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll take an in-depth look at our school's dress code, so stay with us.
Hey seniors, with graduation right around the corner, here are some quick friendly reminders. On May 25th, graduation forms are due to Miss Wobble in Student Activities office in room 322. Also, if you are planning on attending the senior picnic and prom, make sure you do not owe the library any money. If you are unsure, go to the library and check. These are two events that make high school memories last forever, and you do not want to miss out. With that said, don't forget to pick up your ebook on June 11th and order your senior video during lunch waves.
The dress code has been a part of MHS for years and was designed to create a safe learning environment.
But lately, questions have risen about the effectiveness of the dress code, and students have proposed a few changes that they believe will be best for everyone. Lauren Diana has a story.
While students and staff have long fought over what should and should not be addressed on the school dress code, recently students have focused their attention on the school rule against hats. Seeing a dress code violation within MHS is not an uncommon sight, but for students like Andrew Sui, he feels that his headwear does not pose a threat.
I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm going to class, I'm getting my work done, I am doing everything that a correct and good student would do. I just have something on my head, which I feel like there's no reason to be looked at differently by teachers.
Many students agree with Sui's position, as well as teacher Mrs. Doherty, who is all ears when asked to represent the student body upon addressing the matter to higher administration.
We took a look at the policy that we do have in place here at MHS, and I noticed there's actually a lot of discrepancies between what's in the policy and what actually happens.
While others feel differently, as their position argues a safety issue.
I understand where these rules have come from, and I understand that they've come not out of a desire to suppress students, but out of really desire to keep this as safe and secure as a facility as we possibly can.
In fact, our school resource officer, Mr. Walsh, supports this statement.
Be concerned because it's a technique that can be used to conceal someone's identity. Obviously, with school safety concerns, we want to make sure we're only allowing students into the building, that only students are present inside of the building. So that way intruders and all that, we can easily identify them. So hats, do-rags, those kinds of things are a part of the dress code policy.
I feel like the only thing that's looked at is hats because it's so clear, and that's the only rule they can really follow. But I feel like if you're not going to follow any other rule, why would we follow this one?
However, the fight for hats will not rest until both parties come to a mutual consensus. From the Pulse and Manchester, this has been Lauren Diana reporting.
It's pretty clear that a lot of people have strong opinions about the dress code, and it looks like there's a possibility for change.
Security and administration wants all students to know that their main goal is to keep us safe and will continue to do so in the most effective ways possible.
Administrators certainly have a lot to deal with, and a big announcement was just made regarding the school's leaders.
The newest member of the administrative team, Mrs. Miner, is now officially the principal of Manchester High School, but she first entered MHS 21 years ago as a student. Janaya Thornton sits down with her to talk about her past, present, and future at MHS.
Hi everyone, so today I'm here with my Magic College mentor, which also happens to be the new principal of MHS. So, Ms. Miner.
So, Janaya.
How do you feel about finally becoming the principal of our school?
It's a huge honor and a privilege to become principal of this school that I'm really proud of, that I think has probably the most interesting student body of anywhere in Connecticut.
Tell us about your journey.
My journey to this job?
Yes.
Okay, so I thought when I was in college that I wanted to be a teacher, but I wasn't really sure what subject area, and I wasn't really sure if I'd love it. I student taught in the Boston Public Schools and had an excellent experience. Then I worked for a while in Framingham teaching, up in Massachusetts, teaching and coaching. And then I eventually moved back to Connecticut, and so I'd already been teaching for a few years when I came back to Manchester High School, which I was really glad about because I kind of already practiced my craft for a few years. I had some experience. Otherwise, I would have been walking back into classrooms with teachers who had just been my teachers. So I was a little bit older, had a little experience, which was a good thing. I taught for a long time, loved the classroom, never really felt a need to get out of the classroom. And today, that's my favorite part of the day when I'm, visiting classrooms and hanging out with students. And then decided to kind of try the other angle, the instructional coaching and the assistant principal work. And here I am.
Yeah. What were your roles in this school?
So I was a student at Manchester High School.
Right.
I was a teacher, an instructional coach. I was an assistant principal for a few years. Then I was the interim principal. Now I'm the principal, and I'm also a parent. My daughter goes here. So I think I can view Manchester High School from almost every perspective possible, which is really neat because it lets me kind of consider the challenges the school's facing from different angles.
So Ms. Miner, do you see any changes in the school since you went here?
Definitely. I mean, in some ways, I think teenagers are teenagers, and there are a lot of things that teenagers do nowadays that were similar to when I was a kid. But, I mean, there was no real technology when I was a kid. Nobody even dreamed of having a cell phone in their hand, and kind of the power of what that means. So that's much different. Our community is different, a lot more interesting, a lot more diverse than it was when I went here. But the spirit and the opportunities that Manchester High School offers are similar and are great.
How would you impact the school?
So some things I think that we could do a better job of are student and teacher leadership. I think in years past there's been more opportunity for teachers to have leadership roles in the building, and same with students. I think we need a wide group of students kind of participating and being leaders in terms of what kind of school they want to go to. I think getting kids outside of the school to experience real jobs and real career opportunities, making sure every kid is connected to some adult in the school, whether it's through mentorship or something else. And I think, the kinds of experiences we offer in terms of college credits is something we can grow. Having every kid leave school with some kind of college or technical certification or college credit experience would be great.
What an incredible story. It's just really cool that a few years ago, our principal was sitting right here.
Mrs. Miner certainly left her mark as a student and a teacher, and I think she'll be a great principal.
Definitely. Well, that's all we have for you this week, Manchester. Be sure to tune in next week when we take a look at one of our many beloved substitute teachers and highlight our softball team and their road to making the state tournament.
If you have any ideas for stories we might have missed, email Mr. Larson at b11elars@mpspride.org.
To learn more about the Pulse or check out some of our other projects, visit our website at mhstelevision.com.
And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook at MHSRedProd. I'm Raynel Fuentes.
And I'm Anthony Cavallo, and this has been The Pulse.